Bo Nix. We need to have a real conversation eventually. He's got an 83.4 passer rating, lowest graded starter among PFF quarterbacks. Should the Broncos be panicked or patient?
Patience. Here's their upcoming schedule. Bengals, Jets, Giants, Cowboys, Texans, Raiders. He's going to have a 98 to 103 passer rating. He's going to be just fine. Tough early schedule. For the record, struggled last year in September. Take a deep breath. Have patience.
Saquon Barkley.
Number. Saquon Barkley, Denver Broncos. Yeah. Listen, people are getting really squeamish about Boone Nix, and we're about to just disarm that right now because they're talking about like deep ball accuracy and all that, and we're about to just destroy that. But before we get started, please do subscribe. It is the best possible way to support this channel. Make sure that you actually watch the video all the way through and subscribe. It's just the best zero-cost way to support what we're doing here, and it puts me in a position to be able to keep making awesome Denver Broncos videos. So please do subscribe. It means the world to me, and it really helps us build something truly special, and that is what I am on the relentless pursuit to do. So, without further ado, let's just jump right into it. The Denver Broncos, Bo Nix. Oh, we have to have a real conversation about it. Okay, it's been a few weeks. It's been 3 games. When we look at, let's just look at deep ball passing, because Bo Nix it was fingertips off the fingertips of a handful of these throws. Okay, this is where things are so crazy because it's just, again, fingertips. Bo Nix right now is top 15 in completion percentage on deep ball passing 20 or more yards. Okay. If he just completed one of the ones that he missed off the fingertips, that skyrockets to top 8. And if there was just 2, he skyrockets to top 3. Okay, so this idea that it's been so bad, such a mess. And if he completes that too, by the way, he's already top in the NFL in touchdowns for deep ball passing. He's got 3. Lamar's got 3. Baker's got 3. Russell Wilson's got 3. And same thing with yards. If he completes just one of those deep ball passes, he now skyrockets to top 5 in passing yards on deep ball passing. Obviously top in touchdowns in deep ball passing and completion percentage. So just one of those passes gets complete. He's an elite top deep ball passer in the NFL, but it's off the fingertips. It's just ever so slightly long and it's up. He's a bum. He's bad. He's not good. We have to have a real discussion about it. It's just like, we got to chill. We got to chill. Especially because his average depth of target on these deep ball passes are 32, top 4 in the NFL. Up there with Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, who that's like all he could ever do, and Jordan Love, who just wants to throw the ball like he's Brett Favre all day, every day. So these are not easy throws that you are expecting a quarterback to be able to just reliably make for Patrick Mahomes. Okay, this is his adjusted completion percentage. So this has nothing to do with his receivers. This counts for drops and all the good stuff. So this is just, are you throwing an accurate ball? Yes or no? His adjusted completion percentage would be 26.7. Bix, 36.4. And now listen, I'm of the camp where I think deep ball passing is a little bit overrated. We associate being a quarterback, having a big arm, and all this is throwing those 45-yard passes, for touchdowns. And again, they're great and they're awesome and they're exciting, but it is 100% not the end all be all. It's just not. Again, Patrick Mahomes says it has been low. He's been around the 30s or so over these last couple of years, and he's gotten to 2 Super Bowls. So we know it's not everything. Russell Wilson is top in the NFL, and it's not going too well. He just got benched. Okay? So this hyper focus on like deep ball passing is kind of driving me crazy. The problem is this offense has relied on a lot of deep ball passing right now. And so you're putting a tremendous amount on Bo Nix's shoulders in those moments. And so I would like them to find their way through that right now. Here's what's actually really hurting them right now. they're not able to get this screen game going as much as they were able to do last year. And you guys know I talk about this a lot with these, behind the line of scrimmage passes, these screen passes, these, very specific short scheme throws. That's all on the coaching staff. That's all on the offensive coach. That I give all the credit for that, which is why I always, whenever a quarterback has a 4,000 passing yards and 1,000,000 touches, I'm always like, well, let's see how much of that came from behind the line of scrimmage, right? And I've done that for like Momes and Baker and whatnot. And Bo Nix has benefited from that. Like it's not a knock on the quarterback. It's just trying to look at a more complete picture. And it's something that Bo Nix was able to benefit from a lot last year. And now he's still top 6 in yards here for for behind the line of scrimmage, but it is so much less successful. First off, 23 attempts, right? Where you have Michael Panik Jr. 15, you have Spencer Radler 20, you have Baker Mayfield 18, Aaron Rodgers a little bit of an outlier there, 24. So obviously a ton though. And Josh Allen only 18 attempts, but yet they all have more passing yards. And you can all see that he's getting off these screen passes 4.7 yards per attempt. Daniel Jones, 7.4 yards per attempt. Spencer Radler, 6.1. Baker Mayfield, 7.1. Aaron Rodgers, 5.9. Josh Allen, 8.3. Like, this really helps move the chains. This really helps getting that 2nd and 3, now that 3rd and 2. Like, this really matters. The level of success at this aspect of the game, which often, helps kind of be a little bit of an extension of the run game, and just kind of helps take some of the burden off of the quarterback's shoulders. They're not able to get this as they were before. That's not on Boone Nix. And this also really helps. You want to talk about a passer rating. These are passer rating boosts. Okay, when you're talking about attempts, like I showed you guys before, 18 attempts, 24 attempts in 3 games we're talking about. So when you look at total attempts of a quarterback, you can see 18% for Aaron Rodgers, it's 27%, 18% for Baker, 16% for Spencer Radler, 24% for Bo Nix. And yet, because of the lack of success they're having, this is his passer rating here, 86.2. Look at everyone else in the screen game. 119 for Josh Allen, 105 for Aaron Rodgers, 133 for Baker Mayfield, even Spencer Radler, 91.9. Like, this is coaching. This is coaching. This is strategic play calling. And again, I'm not necessarily I'm not knocking. I can't think of his name right now. Sean Payton. I'm not knocking him as a coach. It's just that they're just not able to run this as successfully as they were before. You could blame personnel. You could blame the timing of the play call. You could blame the execution. It's just like, I don't have a solid answer, honestly. But last season behind the line of scrimmage, Boyk's 104.8 passer rating. I can't get it highlighted. 104.8 passer rating. 28 first downs on it. Okay, that matters. They didn't get as many yards, They got more yards, but not as much as you would like. Still only 5.4, but they were able to have a ton of success with it. 6 touchdowns. He has 0 touchdowns now. And it just hasn't been there as much. It just hasn't. He was tied for 2nd in the NFL for behind the line of scrimmage, and it's a major boost. Patrick Mahomes up there, right, 4th with 645. It's a major boost. Patrick Mahomes would have been even higher if he played that final game, but doesn't matter. So yeah, that's just another way to help out with Bo right now. Okay, the Denver Broncos are top 10 in rushing yards per game, yet they are bottom 7 in the NFL in rushing first downs per game. It's pretty remarkable, actually. And the problem with this is that a big chunk of the rushing yards actually come in terms of rushing yards per game actually come from Bo Nix. And so if you remove Bo Nix's rushing attempts and his, just the rushing yards that he brings to the table, they're not top 8 anymore. You can see they're at 38th, 129. They drop all the way down to around the 20th or so. So you're not able to run the ball in a way that now moves the chains. You're not able to reliably run the ball without having to have your quarterback make up for a bulk of this. You can't get any reliable, successful short yardage plays that help move the chains, keep things more manageable, second and third, 3 or whatever. And then you're asking your quarterback to just keep launching the ball deep. It's just messy right now. It's just messy. And the Broncos are bottom 6 in number of penalties per game and penalty yards. They're bottom 5 with 72 yards. They're giving 72 yards, 72.7 yards per game in penalties. There's nothing about this team right now that's making it easier for themselves. Nothing. They're top 3 in penalty first downs in terms of giving the other team first downs off of penalties. And the teams that you're up there with are the New York Jets, an absolutely terrible team. The New Orleans Saints, an absolutely terrible team. The Tennessee Titans, an absolutely terrible team. And the New York Giants, an absolutely terrible team. That is not the company that you want to keep at all, at all, at all, at all. So, yeah, I just take issue when we just want to lump this all on Bonix. Bonix absolutely has to be better. Undeniable, but right now things are just messy. And quite frankly, Sean Payton should be getting more heat for all of this. And again, I'm a huge believer in Sean Payton. I'm a huge believer in the Denver Broncos. I'm a huge believer in Bon Nix. I'm a huge believer in everything they've been doing. But I'm also a huge believer in holding people accountable. And when you see all these penalties, when you're seeing the lack of success and execution, it's like, well, I'm going to look at the coaching staff first. Especially when you see the issues with the penalties. And again, listen, sometimes it's like, well, listen, no matter how great of a coach you have, right? Like if you're a messy team, you're a messy team. Or if you're just not good enough, you're just not good enough, right? It's not like a coach can just magically make everything better. But when you see some of the disorganization, everything feeling sped up, constantly making things harder for yourselves, I'm just like, it just feels messy. It feels messy and disorganized. And we see how how penalties directly led to losses. And we can see how being unable to move the chains and then just relying on, hey, just let it rip really gets them in trouble. And so those are the things that I'm looking to see changed. Like I know the Bengals got rolled against, I think it was against the Minnesota Vikings, right? I think it was the Vikings. And in a way, right, they're favored by 7.5. And you're like, oh, the Broncos, this should be a get-right game. This should be a big game. They should be able to ball, should be able to win big, et cetera, et cetera. It's like I'd feel so much better if they just won 24-4. But it was a clean, organized, grounded game. They were able to run the ball. Bond took care of the ball. High completion percentage. Even if it's just one touchdown, whatever it is, they're able to run the ball. Not a ton of penalties. It just felt like, okay, I'm watching a high-level ball rather than them hang 42 points, but they got 11 penalties for 94-yard, 95 yards. And, still a lot of the same issues, couldn't really run. The ball couldn't really move the chains. A lot of third and longs, but because the Bengals are just such a mess, and you got a couple lollipop interceptions and some, whatever it is, they seem to be pretty much already like, it's game over, like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins just feel like they got nothing to play for right now. So it's just like, it wouldn't surprise me if in that game, the Broncos get a lot of gifts, and it wouldn't surprise me if they're able to get a lot of points, because this defense is able to just get after a backup quarterback and just make his life just, miserable. So I wouldn't be surprised if you get a lot of short yardage field and all that, all that good stuff. So wouldn't surprise me if you get a lot of points. But I want to see clean games. So the amount of points they score is like, a little less interesting to me. I want to see that they feel that this team is just playing at a high level. And make no mistake about it, you can play at a really high level and not blow a team out and not hang 42 points. You could play at an incredibly high level and win 21-10. Like, it's just, that's possible. That's that's doable. That's realistic. So I would prefer to see that and have them play clean, have them play high quality, than have them hang 40 some points. But it's just all over the place still. And things still feel kind of crazy. And like, yeah, Boyk's threw it for a lot of yards, but they're still relying on all these deep shots down the field. You're just like, yeah, I know that's going to be there. And I know Bo Nix can do it. So like, I don't need to see it because I know he can do it. I don't need that validation. I don't need proof of it. But I also know that you can't rely on that on the long term. I also know that you can't, expect that to just always be there. And if you're trying to win big games just by that, it's a tough existence. So I just want to feel like everything is a lot more complete on Monday, and see how this goes. So that's just where I'm at right now. So I do believe in patience big time. I do believe that there should not necessarily be this hyper focus on Nix. And just recognize that right now the Broncos are making things a lot harder for themselves as a whole, the team as a whole. And so that needs to be emphasized from my viewpoint. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Denver Broncos and Bo Nix? And do you think it's time for panic or patience? We have to have a real conversation about Bo Nix. Well, we just did. But let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility in the algorithm. Thank you so much.